Hey, yo, it's me, it's RVE. What up, everyone? It's the Raven Effect here with the HeelCast, coming back to actually do the normal show again for the first time in forever. With me today, I've got the creator of what's become the Hurls cast. I've got Vince Russo's main side chick, a.k.a. Fappin' Hurls. Hurls, what's going on, my man?
Bro, it is going great right now. Bro.
I can tell this, bro. Hurls has become Vince Russo's main cheerleader these past few days, as well as Ken Shamrock's #1 fan. Kind of an inside joke, but if you listen to a show that we just did, you might hear a little bit more about it if we can remember to talk about it again tomorrow night. Also with me, even though he's not existent anymore, I've got the Dick Justice of the HeelCast. I've got stand-up guy. What's going on, my man?
Oh, nothing much. Just sitting here watching 205 Live.
That sounds awful, except we miss you, Rockstar Spud. Now, also, you know what, the HeelCast, as I remind everyone, we're a big, huge, extended family, so I want to remind everyone to check out the other members of the HeelCast. Check out our boy Larkin, Larkin with the S&M Podcast, Pop Culture. Literally, you will hear Larkin put out a new podcast every 25 minutes. Dude is on top of it. Check out Kyle with Total Nonstop Impact. He's a part of the Impact Lounge with my boy BQ. Check out Robert Does Wrestling with Wrestling Robert. Also, you can check out Robert on is it the Impact Bodega or Wrestling Bodega or the Bodega Podcast? What is it? What do they call it?
Yeah.
It's changed a few times. I think it's just called Bodega now because they're covering a bunch of different feds.
Gotcha. So you can get that with Impact's bitter ex-girlfriend, Chef. And you know what, man? I want to give mad props and love to my man, Chef. So Chef is doing his thing. He's starting his own promotion with Heel Team 6 Wrestling. They've got their show, The Blueprint, coming out. And I want to give props. So Chef has not only had James Storm booked, and he showed us he got Shannon Moore booked, but Chef, my man here, has actually booked not only Rosemary, but LAX for his first show. I want to give Chef so much credit and props, and I'm really behind the guy and wish him the best of success. So if you're going to be in that Florida area, check out Chef Heel Team 6 Wrestling, and be sure to go out and support. It's going to be awesome. Another thing, too, check out the HeelCast. Look, we just put out a nostalgia show for 2008 a while back. Check that out if you haven't already. We have 2009, the Innovative Era. Check this show out. We're going to record it again tomorrow. What happened is when we first recorded it, we lost 3/4 of the show because Robert, who's recording it, his computer got the blue screen of death. So we're redoing it tomorrow. I promise you it's a show you do not want to miss. Innovative Era top 10 list of best feuds, rivalries, wrestlers, all that, but some discussion questions that will literally blow your mind that have not been talked about before. So I promise you it is going to be worth your time. Check it out. Now, also, I'm at work. I'm not going to be able to finish the show. If someone comes in, I will have to drop the show. So I just need people to know if I just disappear, it may sound weird, but that's just how it is. So we are going to hop into the news. Now, first, I just want to ask you guys, with this Impact on Twitch and Pursuit stuff, I want to bring up the fact that they just tore it up this past week. Not only was it a great show, but they got like 14,000 viewers, so the highest they've had so far. But how have you, both of you guys, how have you been enjoying it I mean, it's weird, there's no commercial breaks. We just got, people in their living rooms and whatnot with Melissa Santos, but we had Don Callis and Josh and all that. Standby guy, what have you been thinking with the Twitch and Pursuit thing? How are you liking this?
I haven't really watched it on Twitch, but Pursuit, I mean, they're pretty good. I mean, they're not, it's not a actual wrestling network, but they're making it pretty good.
Right now, Hurls, how's it been treating you? What have you been thinking? Just overall, man.
I think, if I really want to pay attention to the show, I'll watch it on Pursuit or GWN on a Tuesday. And if I just kind of feel like the Twitch, if I watch it on Twitch on my phone, it's way too distracting with the chat. I know you can hide the chat, but there's so many comments, it's hard to read sometimes. Like me and you, obviously, were messaging each other on the Impact broadcast on Twitch on Friday, but it's really hard because there's so many comments coming in, so it goes really fast. So I'm going to try it on the big screen this Friday instead of my phone, so we'll see how that goes. Might be a little better. But,
yeah.
I think I do think, though, I really do think you get more content if you watch it on Twitch because you get the stuff in between commercial breaks, and then you get the pre-show and the post-show as well.
Yeah, I tried to watch it on Twitch the day you told us to, Matt, but, like, I couldn't keep up. Like, there was so much chatting.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah, there really is. I've been watching it on Twitch every time. When I work Friday nights for the most part. I've had to take a couple off. My poor dog, I had to put him down one day, which I'm still crushed over. So I had that Friday off. I've had a couple of Fridays off, and I'll actually have tomorrow off because I actually covered a schedule and took a Friday off. So when I have to watch the first hour on my phone. 10, 15 minutes of it I have in my car, not paying much attention on my way home as I have it on my phone. But it's hard as hell to hide that screen on my phone and the chat screen. And it gets fucking annoying because you're right. There's so much talking and it distracts you from the show. Like, I was trying to just say a bunch of shit to talk shit to Hurls all show and just say a bunch of random shit. Apparently you saw me, but I don't know how you could have. And if you said anything to me, Hurls, I missed it. When I get home and I put it on my big TV, I can hide the chat on Twitch, and it goes so much easier and better. And, it's been, I think, like, with Melissa Santos and Cage and stuff like that, like, you do get more content, and after every show, they put on, like, a match, and I enjoy it on Twitch. I think people were kind of look, we're wrestling fans. I don't know why people complain and bitch about the Global Wrestling Network flashbacks sometimes during these commercial breaks, because it's yeah, it's just kind of frustrating me that they've had to go to what they're doing. But I had been super pissed off at the Impact fan base, and and I understand it's Friday night and it's a shitty ass time slot, and it blows my mind that now Explosion has a fucking better time slot than Impact does, and I think it's ridiculous that Pursuit can't give Impact any time they want, any day they want, because Jesus Christ. But it's frustrating to see how low of the viewership and how just a small amount of fucking fans were tuning in. But I was so goddamn proud of not only the Impact fans for finally showing some loyalty, but the company for the numbers that they put up on Twitch. And I saw some stat where it was like, they eclipsed like 1 million or some shit on, what was it, just overall? Did you see that stat, guys? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I did not. I didn't personally see it, no.
Unfortunately. Between YouTube, Twitch, just like all the views are something like, they cleared like 1 or 2 million. I don't know the stat, and I know it was posted in our chat thing, but it was like huge success for Impact, and I just think it's awesome. I feel these shows have been fucking badass too. I feel they put on some great shows, and I really want the fan base to step up and show some loyalty for once. And I'm finally proud and impressed, and just keep up the good work, Impact and the Impact fans.
Well, I think to go along with that, I think moving the GWN, moving it like 6 days earlier, it's like way better. So, I can watch it now on a Tuesday instead of having to go, and wait 10 days to watch it on the GWN. And another thing, I have Impact DVR'd on Pursuit. And for some reason, I do not know why they do this, but on Pursuit, they do it in like 1 hour blocks. So your DVR won't pick it up if it's both hours. It's just going to do the first hour. So that really sucks.
Mine doesn't. Mine records all 2 hours. It was recording 3 hours for some reason. So
I'm gonna guess it's going to be you guys probably have 2 different providers. Is going to be my guess. As far as cable or satellite or whatnot. That's the other thing I could think of. For me, yeah, and that was the point I was going to bring up. Hurls is like, it's been frustrating because there is no DVR option if you don't have Pursuit, and a lot of us don't, because you can't, it's not on demand on the Pursuit app. Apparently it hasn't been on demand with Global Wrestling Network or not GWN, but Twitch. But now, so if you miss it Friday night, Monday's at 6 p.m. Eastern, which I was thinking 6 p.m. my time Pacific. So I actually missed the replay Monday. You can catch it, but instead of waiting 10 days for it to come on Global Wrestling Network, it's available the following Tuesday, which is great. So that's awesome. It's awesome news. It's like a big just thank you, because now, like, I'll be honest, I've missed a couple of second hours. I've missed time when I've been at work when it's been on because I have to attend to customers. I legit forgot it was on once. So it's great to have this option, and I want to say thank you to Impact, to the Global Wrestling, for just finally doing something that makes sense. And then for those of you who don't know, now Explosion, their secondary show, which is watched by Hurls and I think a couple of delusional people who their first names start with the letter C, like that show airs Wednesday nights at what time?
I believe it's 7 p.m. Eastern, I believe.
So Explosion, Wednesday night on Twitch, has a better time slot than the actual Impact broadcast. So for those of you that don't know, you can watch one match with some jobbers or some people you'll never see again. And what else do they show on Explosion other than that one match, Hurls?
They do an around the ring segment where it's basically like an interview. It's usually like 7 to 8 minutes long. You get to, find out some cool things about some of your favorite wrestlers that you watch every week. And then after that, it's just basically one match from long time ago, and then the final match they do is one from Impact from the past week.
Cool. Is it a 30-minute show?
I think it's actually an hour. Well, if you had commercial breaks, it'd be an hour. I think it's more like 45 minutes.
I hear you. Yeah. So, sure to check that out if you're unaware, guys. I mean, that's a lot of us have always wanted to see Explosion or try that out. And I feel like Impact, do the right thing and get yourself a secondary show or something, or, make it your... I mean, you've got, with this Explosion thing, expand it and change it and do something different because you've got that opportunity now, which a lot of people feel Impact has needed that another hour TV per week to really advance their wrestlers and storylines and whatnot. I said, unfortunately, I got to speed this up a little bit, but, another thing that's been pretty cool has been watching the Major League Wrestling Network, MLW, which somehow has a better time slot and channel than Impact. Impact and MLW, when I did a show with Kid Ref, we mentioned how they're working together on April 4th to make sure that no MLW and Impact fans, they can get between shows and, they're not going to run over another. There actually now is a partnership between the two. So we see a lot of Impact talents on MLW, but now we can see some vice versa. And guys like the Hart Foundation and stuff, I'm excited. I hope can show up on Impact and Filthy Tom Lawler and whatnot. So we have it at United We Stand.
So does
kind of grinds my gears.
On TV or is it on Twitch?
I'm sorry?
Does MLW come on TV or is it on Twitch?
It comes on the BN channel, BEIN. BN Sports or Bean Sports. If you get the Sling package, and I don't subscribe to this, I will when football season starts up. If you do the Sports Extra, you get BN. So I've seen some MLW, and it's been pretty good. Joey Ryan is on there as well. But so we have it at United We Stand. We've got Loki, and who's Loki's partner coming back? Hurls?
Oh, gosh. You picked the wrong guy to answer this because I know it's something like Rodriguez or something. I really don't even know.
Regardless, we got an MLW tag team involving Loki facing LAX at United We Stand, which is actually it's starting to shape up to where I think I'm going to pay the $20 now. It's cool. I fucking hate the fact that Loki's getting his 75th chance with Impact. But Hurls, what are your thoughts on the MLW and Impact partnership?
I think it's only natural. I think, with AEW coming around, you're going to need to showcase more wrestlers and you're going to want guys that are, you want a bigger roster. So for MLW, it makes a lot of sense. And they've done some really good stuff. I mean, they've kind of came back out of the dead from when they started back in 2002 and they've, it's good to see them return, and I mean, Impact's all about partnerships, so this just makes sense for them to partner with MLW. There's really no reason to compete against each other.
Now, stand by, guy. You're standing by. What's your thoughts on MLW and Impact, if you've got me?
I haven't really seen MLW, but I've been told I need to, so I'm going to have to check it out. But any partnership Impact can get is pretty good. I mean, they need it. I mean, and it's just a win for them. I mean, they could use it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is too is it's a win not only for them and MLW, but it's a win for wrestling fans overall as well. So. More talent, the better. Like I said, I'd like to see the Hart Foundation with Teddy Hart and Brian Pillman and D.H. Smith come in. So there's a lot of stuff that can happen. We'll see where it goes from there. One thing that MLW has that's pretty fucking cool is they have War Games. And they had a match at War Games. I mean, Abyss was in it. Callahan was in it. You know, it's some pretty cool stuff.
I must say, WWE took that away.
They can't do War Games again?
No.
Fuck WWE. Damn. What? I guess I was kind of wondering, like, how in the hell they're getting away with it, but...
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a WCW
call it differently. Call it Games of War.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Fuck WWE. But,
yeah, there was a news story that that WWE was able to get the rights to it solely, and that MLW can't use it.
Not surprised, but you know, it was still cool to see it happen, and not in that company, because, you know, I don't watch that company. I haven't been able to see any of the War Games. Apparently, they do an NXT or whatnot. But regardless, people, the moral of this entire story is fuck WWE in the ass. So, speaking of fucked in the ass, just kidding. Former, is it 5 or 6 time Knockouts champion?
5.
So, we have a return to the company. You last saw her on the losing end at Slammiversary challenging Su Yung for the Knockouts title, but the Killer Queen, the Queen Bee, Madison Rayne, has made her return to Impact Wrestling again. Will be returning after getting out of her contract with ROH. If anyone is ecstatic about this, it's the Killer of Fools, FK9, who has been as critical as Madison Rayne as you can possibly get throughout his tenure of podcasting, but I don't know how to feel. You know, basically, like, I'm going to say this. I know my time's kind of getting shortened down here, but like I said, Madison Rayne, I give her all the credit in the world when she was doing creative, because with creative, every time you see a wrestler in creative, they really kind of book themselves as the best and, you know, top matches and all that. When Madison was creative in the knockout, she was literally jobbing to everyone, putting everyone else over. And I will always give her credit for that, for being so unselfish. But it really killed a lot of her credibility. So when she returned last year, and she's beaten like Taya, and she's beating Tessa Blanchard twice, you know, and getting the title shot, it really kind of made the other two look a little unsuccessful. And then when she goes to, you know, what is it, the Mae Young tournament in ROH and doesn't have much success there, and coming back, it's hard to see them. It's going to make the knockouts look bad if they put Madison over too much. And again, I'm a fan of hers. I think she's a gorgeous woman. I think she's awesome, unselfish, and all that. But the return is just ho-hum for me. Standby guy, any thoughts on the Madison Rayne return?
I mean, she's good, and it's like you said, she's unselfish with putting people over, but like I think she's returning because she wants to build her name back up.
Standby, did you watch her Ring of Honor run?
I watched some of it. I mean, she didn't do too good.
Did you guys expect her to do too well in Ring of Honor? Because I did. I would have, you know what I mean?
I thought she'd do okay because I
expected better, but like it was not good at all.
Well, they started a women's division. I thought they were gonna, you know, maybe try to use her as a bigger piece because she was one of the bigger names that they had in the division, but it seemed like she didn't win too much. I mean, she was only in the company for what, five months? Because I believe she left at the beginning of February and it wasn't really announced. So that was not a long run at all.
Well, I mean, the thing with her there, if you like, and I feel this way about the Mae Young Classic, but I was surprised. For when I heard she like jobbed out in the first round of the Mae Young Classic, it was like, good job, Impact. You literally have this girl go over most of your roster for WWE to do what WWE does. She doesn't fit the mold of what like Ring of Honor does, you know, because Ring of Honor is, you know, like your work rate kind of company. Madison's never really been that. WWE, I mean, let's be honest, Madison's never been the most talented, but she's been able to have great character and be over in Impact, and she really kind of fits the Impact mode. What they're doing with the Mae Young thing in NXT, she doesn't fit that either. You know, if this were 10, 12 years ago, she'd have, you know, been exactly what the WWE was looking for with their divas and women. So I didn't expect her to have much talent or success in the other two. I feel like Impact was where she needed to be because of, you know, her history with the company. But I mean, shit, before 2018, I mean, Madison was jobbing to everyone. So I don't know what was expected. It's decent to have her home, but she should just be used to kind of put people over.
Yeah, I think like all in all, I'm pretty happy she's back. I always liked her. I thought her Killer Queen character, like I want to say around 2011, 2012, was just on fire. Like I thought her promo work was so good. It made up for whatever deficiency she had as an in-ring performer. So I'm excited to have Madison Rayne back, and I hope. And I thought she made Su Yung look like $1 million at Slammiversary. So I was really happy with that feud, and so I'm kind of hoping that they allude to that a little more. And I don't know. I've always been a fan of hers. I know she gets a lot of hate, but I've been a fan.
I've been a fan of hers myself too. I think she's a gorgeous woman, very underrated and appreciated on her looks, but that's not what they're doing. She did make Su Yung look very great, like $1 million at Slammiversary. Unfortunately, really, since she dropped the belt, Impact hasn't made Su Yung look very strong or good in anything, which I digress to a later story, and we'll see how that goes this week. But, speaking of Su Yung, we had a bunch of re-signings. For me, the big one is that, they were teasing that a former champion was returning, which it kind of turned out to be Madison Rayne. But when they were supposed to do it, they announced the re-signing of Su Young's, I would assume it was supposed to be Su Young's big rival, but it seems more like Allie's right now. But our homegirl and our love, Rosemary, the Impact Dude's twin sister, has re-signed with Impact. I'm ecstatic because I thought, this girl's bound to get swooped up by NXT or WWE or AEW. And she was one that I was really, really afraid of losing. I think this is huge for the Knockouts division because for me, she's still the number one knockout. And I think she'll be for a long time. Hurls, the girl, Rosemary, she's returned. Your thoughts?
That's kind of like a no-brainer, right? I think that Impact, they definitely had to re-sign her. I mean, she's, they built her up so big. She got very over and, one of the most popular knockouts in the company. I think this is a no-brainer. I can't wait to see what she does. I hope she can stay healthy because she's got a lot of catching up to do, and I think the Knockouts division is starting to look pretty good.
It is, and I can't wait for the Dark War. Stand by. You got any thoughts on Rosemary?
I love Rosemary. She's pretty good. I'm glad she re-signed with them. I don't think she would do as good. I mean, she would do good in WWE, but I don't think they would use her like they should. So I'm glad she signed back with Impact.
I am too. You know what? Thank you, Rosemary. And the thing is, too, we've all been worried, and rightfully so, with All Elite coming along and taking, they're plucking WWE talent left and right. With WWE having their power, with Impact taking this big demotion to Twitter, to Twitch and Pursuit, can Impact re-sign anyone? Not only Rosemary, we've had a lot of re-signings lately. I don't know if you guys covered it last week, but Eddie Edwards has re-signed, which I think is a great re-signing. Eddie, even though he's kind of doing the hardcore thing, went a little bit crazy. He's showing character that he's never had in the past. And also, Eddie Edwards is a guy who's that work rate guy that can have a great match with anyone out there. We had Mr. Impact Wrestling Moose re-sign with the company, which I think is huge. I still feel like Moose, as far as character development, is just really fucking taking off. And I feel like I've always felt Moose is a potential new world champ coming up. Big one for me is Sami Callihan re-signed with the company. I feel Sami Callihan should be an Impact World Champion by the time this year is over with, and I still feel him and Eli Drake should be in the spot that Cross and Moose are right now as far as shooting for the world title. We also had All Ego Ethan Page re-sign. Hurls, your boy Josh Alexander used to be his tag team partner apparently. I think I've been waiting to see what's so great about Ethan Page, and he's got some character and some charisma. I just feel like they've been jobbing him out way too much, and I'd like to see them do something a little bit differently and better with the guy. But we've got 4 big re-signings there, in my opinion, on top of Rosemary. So, Hurls, your thoughts on this?
I think it was stated in Jericho's interview when he said Anthem definitely has money. I mean, they offered him like over $1 million for just 4 matches. Anthem will shell out money when they feel they need to, and clearly here was the case. They felt the need because AEW's signing all these different talents. I think Impact was like, well, you know what? Let's lock down all our guys. We got money. We believe in Impact now. It's time to start spending some money. So They came through and they signed a bunch of different people. Not only that, bringing in Rob Van Dam and Sabu for at least 1 match, hopefully more, but bringing them in and then signing Ace Austin and Josh Alexander, 2 guys that, you know, I was on my Twitch shows and One Night Only shows been saying Impact's got to bring these guys in, and they did. So very happy right now with what they're doing move-wise.
Absolutely. Now, Stenga, anything you want to chime in there on those re-signings?
They're good re-signings. I mean, and then you got the Josh Alexander signing. That's pretty good stuff. They should be really good.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see Josh Alexander, and I'd like to see him and maybe Ethan Page do a tag team thing because I don't think Seidel's returning, and I'd like to see, you know, not only another tag team challenger emerge too, but I mean just fucking overall, let's get these 2 together and let them shine and do what they can do, because if this guy's anything what Hurls has been saying, and what's his name, Scott D'Amore's been saying, we're in for a treat with Josh Alexander. Now, guys, I got to cut this pretty short for myself. I know I'm going to let you guys do it. We got 2 other things to talk about. I'm just going to say this. I'll let you guys take over from here. Now we've got KM, Kevin Matthews. Is it Kevin Matthews?
It is, yes.
So KM is gone. I saw, you know, I hardly ever touch Twitter, but I saw a thing the other day where he said some, you know, GIF or meme or whatever saying that he's free. I thought KM's had potential. I thought they kind of used the guy wrong for a long time. His stupid, like, Biff from Back to the Future stuff I couldn't stand. But I'm so fucking excited to see him and Falaba be off my TV screen, because I think he's got talent. I think Falaba's a fat idiot, and I don't know how everyone is so behind the guy, just going, bah, 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 or no, no, no. I can't stand it. I don't see the thing behind it, but maybe they'll actually do something decent with Falaba and turn him into a heel, like a new Yokozuna or some shit, because I'm just so tired of seeing these 2. And I feel like Reno Scum should have went over these jabronis. But best of luck to KM, because I think he's got a little bit of potential, at least as a character and a big man. But that's it. The other thing, then we'll let you guys talk about this, because I'm going to have to head out here. Eli Drake, what was it, Hurls? How much longer did we see on this rumor?
I heard he's got 60 days left on his contract currently.
So we will at least see Eli Drake at Rebellion. So there's a possibility that Eli Drake could be leaving here in 2 months. I'm going to say this. When Eli Drake was a world champion, and he's still at, Eli Drake is on a level that no one else in the business can be. He's the best talker in the business. He's the best character. He's got movie circulars. Eli Drake could still be a fucking, Jesus Christ. He could literally be a household name. And Impact, since they have re-signed this guy, which was so huge and such a must, and everyone said we can't lose Eli Drake since they've gotten him. I'm not saying they haven't done shit with him, but they haven't done enough or good enough shit with him. He's better than feuding with the Abyss. He's better than his stupid open challenge at Bound for Glory. He is a main eventer. He is your top guy that should be in the top guy all around. You could literally build your company and future around this guy, and it would work. And they have not done the right things with this guy. And there's so many management switches and regime switches throughout this company that it's just like someone has to, give someone the ball, and then the next people come in and they want nothing to do with him. This guy absolutely needs to be locked up to a long-term deal. They need to pay him right, and they need to use him right. Impact Wrestling, this guy, literally, you could put your future of the company in this guy's hands, more than Cage, more than Johnny, more than Cross, more than anyone, and he's going to take you farther if you just give him the chance, whether it's a heel or a face, because he's got something that he's got something that you can't create or touch. It's just this natural gift that not everyone has. And I'm just saying, I'm begging you, Callis, I'm begging you, Uncle Ed Nordholm, I'm begging you, Scott D'Amore, re-sign Eli Drake. Now, Hurls, standby guy, I'm going to have to get off the phone. I got to close down my store for good. I got to head home to the wife. I want to thank you guys. Check us out on the HeelCast. I will be back in longer. You guys, take it from here. I know you're going to kill it. Hurls, it's on you, my man.
All right. Just to further on to that point, I think the signs are kind of telling with a lot of different things they're doing. So they're booking Eli Drake versus Tessa Blanchard at United We Stand. And Eli Drake basically responded to a fan. Basically, the fan said that, no disrespect, but nothing screams more fake than an intergender match. And Eli Drake basically agreed, and he said, no disrespect to Tessa Blanchard. She's a hell of a talent, but there's no way I don't feel like I don't want to participate in this match. I thought it was very telling that the fact that they're putting him against Tessa Blanchard, I really don't get it. I don't know why why they have Eli Drake in this. I just think it's kind of telling. Like, if you look at the last year since Eli Drake has re-signed, because he did sign, he was basically in the same position last year, but he re-signed apparently just for a 1-year deal. He hasn't had a lot of meaningful feuds. He's been, feuding with a guy like Abyss. I mean, Abyss is, he's gone. He's gone from the company now, and there's really a lot of his feuds. I mean, I don't mind the Eddie Edwards feud. I actually think that's one of his better ones lately. But, I mean, if you just look at it, he has not had a lot to work with. So, in my opinion, the signs are there that he's good as gone. They're booking him against Tessa Blanchard and then against Eddie Edwards, assuming at Rebellion. But stand by. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I like Eli Drake. I think it's like Matt said, he's one of the best. I mean, you can't really overlook that, and that's exactly what they've done. I think they've given up on him and just, don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, I think it's like, it really doesn't make sense. He's clearly one of your best talkers. He can go in the ring. He gives it his all. I'm not really sure why they're not putting him in the main event scene. I really don't get that. I think he was great as champion. He cuts a great promo. Maybe there's stuff behind the scenes we don't know about, but I think they just dropped the ball with him constantly in the past year, and I think he's gone. I really do think he's gone. Where he ends up, I don't know, but he's got 60 days left. And another sign that tells you that he's probably gone is on his post on Twitter, on Instagram as well. He did the hashtag Last Dance. So I don't know why you would say Last Dance if you weren't leaving to go somewhere else. So
right.
Yeah, I think Eli Drake's gone. I think Impact only has themselves to blame on this for the way they've handled him. They've done some good stuff with him, but this just the whole contract that he signed from last year to now, he really has not done a lot of meaningful stuff. So I think they dropped the ball, and I think they're going to lose one of their better talkers. So it's a shame. It really is. So it's funny, like how much Impact's doing right, but then they still have, they still do wrong with losing one of their best talkers, best wrestlers. And I think if you look at it, it's mostly positive, but there's still some mistakes that are being made, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. Stand by. What do you have out of all those re-signings? Are you happy with most of them?
Yeah, like most of them are like really good signings. So I mean, re-signings. So like if they weren't there, they wouldn't do anything in WWE though. I mean, I don't think they'd make it. I mean, WWE don't use everybody like they should. So
yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
There's a lot of wrestlers that re-signed that would get used.
Yeah, I mean, just look at EC3. I mean, he's not being used the best.
Dude, he's looking through a mirror half the time when he's seen backstage. So, I mean, he he's just being used backstage, and he's looking through a mirror half the time.
I mean, and yeah, I mean, they had him lose to Dean Ambrose, who's on his way out. So, I mean, if that's not telling, so
I don't know if he's on his way out now because they reunited the Shield.
Yeah, I think that's just for our 1 month, just to kind of get him for one last time before he leaves.
Yeah.
But I do think he's gone. I think he's just really tired of the booking of him. He's not really enjoying his time there. So
he interviewed, and they said in his interview, he said he wanted to do something his own way.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I mean, if you watched where he came from, I mean, he did a lot of, crazy stuff in CZW. So, So yeah, I don't blame him there. But okay, I think that's really it with the news. There's really not much else to go off of. I mean, we basically covered most of the news. So why don't we go into Impact?
All right.
The first match of the night, we had Jake Christ versus Willie Mack, and Willie Mack got the win by DQ because Dave Christ came in and interfered. And then basically Tommy Dreamer comes out there and makes the save. So then it was Willie Mack and Tommy Dreamer versus OVE. It was the tag match. It was I thought it was decent. Willie Mack and Tommy Dreamer got the win. Stand by. What'd you think of this match?
It was a decent match, I thought, but I think you should I don't know why you would include Tommy Dreamer in this, because it's really OVE versus Willie Mack and Rich Swann. So I don't see where Tommy Dreamer comes in.
Yeah, I think he just kind of, he wasn't out in Mexico at all. And, so now he shows up at the Vegas tapings. It was kind of awkward. All of a sudden he's there, and there really wasn't a lot of storyline for it.
What would be good would be actually Rich Swann turning on Willie Mack and becoming part of OVE.
Yeah, that's a quite possibility too of where the storyline's going. So, yeah, all right. So second match, we had a returning Reno Scum. They took on the tag team of KM and Falaba. Decent tag match, but KM and Falaba win, which I thought was kind of interesting. I don't know. This tag team returned. Obviously, Impact viewers know who they are, so I thought it was kind of strange to have them lose. But at least when they lost, they did get to beat them down, kind of making them heels. So I don't know if I was a huge fan of this booking, but I guess they at least had their comeuppance at the end. What did you think of this?
Yeah, I get that they was, I get Falaba and KM are over, so you would want to give them a win, but to debut again, to get Reno Scum to re-debut in there and have them lose kind of don't make sense.
Agreed. I think it was kind of strange. So, okay. So then we had a segment with Glenn Gilberti, who finally arrived at the management office to start his new job with the company. And I actually thought both of these segments were actually pretty funny. He ran into D'Lo Brown and Tommy Dreamer. I actually really enjoyed this. I was hoping last week we would have got more, but At least this week we got 2 segments with him. He's the new Ass to Kiss, my friend. What did you think of Glenn Gilberti, a.k.a. Disco Inferno, the stuff backstage?
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, I haven't seen D'Lo Brown in a long time, so it's good to see him back. If he's back, I mean, is he back?
Yeah, I think, D'Lo Brown's definitely back. I think it makes a lot of sense. He's been wrestling on some of the one-night onlys as well. He kind of just made his return a few months ago, so it was only a matter of time, I think, before he showed up on Impact. But yeah, he is actually in a new producer role for the company.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense for him. He's good at doing that type of stuff. And like Gilberti, he's got the right job. I mean, he does a good job at doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And they also hired Paul London, it looks like, to be another producer. But I would imagine Paul London will get in the ring as well, just like D'Lo has. So
you're right.
So yeah, I think we talked about them last week. I thought they were pretty good signings to bring in, especially when you lost Sanjay Dutt and Abyss. I thought those were 2 guys that were really solid roles. I mean, D'Lo's been in this position already with Impact, so he has experience. So that actually worked out pretty well for Impact.
And Dreamer's a producer too, right?
Yeah, he does. He definitely does. Every time he comes to Impact, he's always helping out producing. There's even been some reports that him and Conan are going to start doing some creative stuff as well. So,
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, they got a lot of good minds in the back. I mean, there's no shortage of them.
And Raven's helping too, right?
Yeah, that was a rumor, but I haven't really had anything to confirm that more. But that'd be cool if he did.
Yeah, Raven's got a good mind too.
Yep, exactly. So, oh, can you mute that, by the way? Yeah. Sorry, we don't want. Okay, so keep going. We had backstage, Eli Drake confronts Eddie Edwards and proposes that they challenge for the tag team championships. Despite having differences in styles, Eddie reminds him that Kenny, the kendo stick, is his tag partner and declines. So, obviously, that's probably setting up for this, That's why I thought they're going to wrestle at Rebellion because, Eddie Edwards isn't looking to tag with Eli Drake. So, then... Also, backstage, we had Scarlett Bordeaux reveals that her in-ring debut will take place next week. So we had that. And then the next match of the night, we had Tessa Blanchard versus Delilah Doom. Delilah Doom got some offense in, but Tessa Blanchard ultimately wins the match. Standby, what did you think of Eli Drake? What did you think of Eddie Edwards turning down Eli Drake's offer?
That was funny. I mean, it's funny because he's got his partner as a kendo stick.
That's the only partner he needed.
Yeah.
And are you looking forward to Scarlett Bordeaux's in-ring debut? Well, quote unquote.
I am. I just want to see if she can actually wrestle.
If you watch the Twitch specials or the one night onlys, she's already wrestled on there about 4 or 5 times already. But this is her actual Impact debut. So
yeah,
the show Impact, not the company Impact. So it'll be good. Yeah, look for that. And then, what was your thoughts of Tessa Blanchard versus Delilah Doom?
Oh, that was a decent match to put Tessa over more. And, give the other one good, good in-ring wrestling.
Yeah, and then after the match, Tessa says she'll get her rematch one way or another. So that'll be interesting with that. Then next, we had another match. We had Ethan Page versus Zachary Wentz. Zachary Wentz got the win. after it kind of looked like Ethan Page was messing with the NFL Hall of Famers a little bit. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, I could see them doing a match. I really could see them doing a match with Marlon Green. Was it Marlon Greenwood? I believe it was. They said,
yeah. Marlon Greenwood. That's
Marlon Greenwood. Didn't he play for the Panthers?
I don't know.
You know what? But I honestly, I really do think that they're going to do some type of match with possibly Ethan Page versus one of those Hall of Famers, because they got the partnership now, so they might bring one of those guys in, one of the maybe younger ones, so
yeah.
But I think the wrong guy won here, and I've been kind of saying it. The Rascals, they're really talented, but I'm just not really digging them that much. I don't know what it is, but they're not. To me, they're just not.
It's that whole 70s thing.
Yeah.
Seems like with them. I mean, that's been played. I mean, Mike Awesome was the best with that.
That 70s guy. Yeah, and that was actually a rib, too, apparently, with the gimmick, why he got that gimmick. But to go back to Marlon Greenwood, apparently he played for the Dolphins for 3 years, then he played for the Texans for 3 years, played with the Raiders for 1 year, and then I think he played in some other football league, but that was his football career. So it doesn't look like he made a Pro Bowl or anything, but he is only 40 though. So he's not that old. He was not the Hall of Famer that was there. It was a different guy who was in the Hall of Fame that was sitting there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was the Hall of Famer.
Yeah, it was somebody else. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure who that other person was, but like I said, Ethan Page, I'm a big fan of. I think he's kind of a throwback wrestler, and I think we need more of them, especially with the younger crowd.
Yeah.
Like, they're always just trying to do the really high spots type choreographed style matches. We need more of those guys that just do more simple, basic stuff, but that, it's not always choreographed. It's more old school style. So I like Ethan Page. I think he's a really solid talent. I hope, with him signing a 2-year deal, I hope they have some, good plans for him going forward. So I'm definitely a fan. So anyways, so then we had a promo for Ace Austin. As you guys know, that I've been looking forward to Ace Austin debuting for quite a while, but I've been telling on the shows, the One Night Only and the Twitch shows that I do, I've been hoping they would sign Ace Austin. So this was awesome that they got a vignette for him. I'm pretty happy about that. Standby, have you seen Ace Austin in action before?
Never. I've never seen him, but like I told you today, he kind of looks like he's going to be good. In he looks like Jay White.
He's got the body of like a Neville. He's muscular, but he's got that X Division style. But he could go against, probably some of the bigger heavyweights too. So he's not just, he's not just going to be a guy that's just going to throw it in with the X Division. Yeah. So I'm excited that Impact signed him to a deal, because I think he's a really good talent. So then we had another kind of promo with Sami Callihan, who gave his side of the story on the relationship with Rich Swann. He basically said that both of his parents died and he took him in. I actually like this. I actually think I liked it better than I thought I did. Like, when they first kind of introduced this storyline, it was like, oh, geez, this is cringe. This could be cringeworthy. But the more and more, like, they actually know each other, like, I had no idea. And Yeah, I actually think this is actually pretty good. The more stuff they do on it, and so I'm actually looking forward to see where they go with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to where they go with it. So, I think it could be a pretty good angle, actually, better than what we thought at first. Then we had another backstage segment with LAX. They said that they attacked and unmasked the Lucha Brothers last week because they felt disrespected when they didn't shake their hands. So then Conan is furious at the decision they made, but says he'll get them yet another shot at the gold. So I actually like this, and it kind of made sense for LAX to act the way they did. I don't know about you, but I thought it made sense.
It did. It furthers the feud with them. It progresses the feud with them, and it did actually make sense.
And I mean, I don't think anyone's complaining if we see them go at it one more time either. So they're so talented.
And then at the end, when Conan walked out, they said, "We'll do this on our own." So I don't know. Is it like they're gonna betray Conan and turn on him, or what? That just gives you like unanswered questions, and it just progresses to that too.
Exactly. So we also had the GWN match of the week, which was Killshot and Willie Mack versus LAX. I remember watching that match. It was great at the Impact vs. Lucha Twitch show. Such a good match.
Yeah, that was a good match.
So then we finally got to the main event. It was Moose and Killer Cross versus Johnny Impact and Brian Cage in a tag team match. It was interesting, I guess, to say the least, because Johnny Impact got injured, and he got injured doing the breakdance leg drop, is what I call it. But yeah, but after that, I mean, when he went to the back and Taya Valkyrie came out there, basically Killer Cross and Moose just beat Brian Cage to a bloody pulp, literally. What did you think, Standby, of this whole thing?
This whole thing is pretty good. I mean, I want to see a Moose versus Cross matchup. That would be good. I mean, it's just, those two just go at it with others. So, just to have them two go at it with each other, it would be neat.
Yeah, I think it was interesting how they kind of foretold the story of Johnny Impact, his body breaking down, as you heard in the opening promo. So this maybe played into that, I guess, a little bit. But they also made it a really big hint that Johnny Impact said he didn't care if the fans, cheered for Brian Cage at Homecoming. He said it was cool, whoever the fans chant for. So, interesting to see where that goes. Interesting to see if Brian Cage is upset about that. What happened? Obviously, he got beat up pretty good by Moose and Cage. So, and by the way, Moose's robe was awesome. Looked, his character has just been great lately. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I think Impact for me, it wasn't anything I'm gonna remember in a long time, but I think it did a pretty solid job this week. I don't think it was anything special, but I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. I think that's what I usually give for a show that's not bad, but it's not amazing either. So I just give it a solid 7 out of 10 this week. How about you?
I give it a 7. It was pretty decent, but not memorable. Not memorable. Yeah, 7. I'd give it a 7.
Yeah, I think it furthered a lot of storylines, and I think Rebellion's looking good. Well, first off, United We Stand. I think we should probably talk about that. That's going to be a pretty good card. There's a lot of really awesome matches that are going to be in that, but United We Stand, I'm looking forward to. Definitely going to order it. It's going to be on really late, but I'll still order it. And And not only that, we got Rebellion. So we got 2 pay-per-views in April. So I don't know. I think Impact's got a really solid foundation right now. They got a really good roster. I think they have a solid. I think they really have a solid knockouts division. They got a really good. It looks like the tag team division's doing pretty well, especially with Reno Scum coming back. I would like to see the X division kind of improve a little bit. I think they're a little too focused on OVE and the Rascals. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling the Rascals. They're all 3 tremendous athletes. I think they could just maybe do something a little bit better. And I think the main event, they could use, a little injection with some, I don't know, maybe some bigger names. I like the fact that they're bringing in Rob Van Dam. Like I said, that's always a solid addition. But I think it's good. I'm not gonna say it's great. It's good. So, but I do love the 2 new signings that they had, Josh Alexander and Ace Austin. Great. Hopefully they bring in Jake something. Also Jake Diener. He's had a few different names. And I hope they bring in Madman Fulton. So those are 2 guys I'm really hoping that we see more in Impact. So only time will tell. Any final thoughts? Stand by before we head on out.
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got for the HeelCast this week. Stay tuned. I will be bringing back to Callie's review very shortly. Other than that, that's all we got from the HeelCast. So for Raven Effect, for Standby, for me, Hurls, we will check you out next week.